Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of the Good Days Attorney Chronicles. Last episode, we are starting with part 1 of the trial right now, and this episode we are continuing on with another testimony as we have uncovered a new hidden clue about the crime scene itself, so let's keep going. Mystery of the moving board. I don't know anything about their notice board. I just wiped my hand on it, that's all. Well, don't look at me. I haven't got a clue about it. I was doing business with some second years at the time. I don't know anything. I'm just a bystander, me. Just a sign at the crossroads of life. Please don't make me guilty, please. It was a Grippa, I bet. He's got a face that screams, "Bud." I can't see how this changes anything anyway. This detective still died when we had heard the gunshot. That is true. So none of you can elaborate further. Shaken by the crime they witnessed, and with the light of a few candles and an oil lamp by which to see. We can't expect these witnesses to be able to give a more precise account of what happened. That's right. That's right, yeah. You don't pay to expect too much. It's a man's endless quest for knowledge that's destroying the world. That's what I think. Do you? Really? In any case, as this testimony shows, even if the notice board was moved by somebody following the incident, it makes no difference. When the gunshot rang out, the accused was the only person at the scene. That's true. In short, the only person who could have possibly have committed this crime is Barack von Zeeks. None of this wrangling over the board changes that simple fact. Quite so. Does the defense still wish to cross-examine the witnesses despite the circumstances? Most certainly, my lord. Very well, then you may proceed, counsel. Here we go. The mystery of the moving board. So you admit it was the board that you wiped your bloody hand on? Admit it? What's to admit? It's there plain as day for all to see. A smashing print of my right hand. Perhaps you wanted to hide that handprint. So you righted the notice board and pushed it into the corner, did you? No. Imagine the weight of that great lump. Do I look like a powerful and well-nurtured man? Well, did you see anyone else moving the board? I got nerves of steel, I can tell you, but I even have my limits. There was a body on the floor in front of me, and the Grim Reaper himself standing over it. And there was precious little light inside either. My bottom lip was all a quiver. In other words, this witness is unable to give a definite testimony on that point. Yes, so it would seem. Second years? When you say you were doing business with them, you mean you were selling them fireworks? Yeah, what else? There's the Priory School just around the corner, see? Those cheeky little so-and-sos have got a plan to blow their school to kingdom come. Ha! So I've been telling on them, letting their teachers know what they were up to. Oh, you have? Yeah, wouldn't want to get anyone hurt, so I let the school know the kids are playing with dodgy toys. And praise the Lord, the teachers take all the fireworks off him. And then, praise the Lord again, the kids all come back to me to buy more. Everyone's happy, see? Well, at least that's how you can make a profit off of them. What a racket. Of course, and sometimes the teachers give me a little bonus to thank me for letting them know. It's a busy old life selling explosives. Well, you got a pretty good occupation there, I guess. Venus is a guileful goddess indeed. Well, telling barefaced lies is kind of a thing really. I'm ever so good at it, huh? Why are you... Excuse me. Something wrong, Mr. Sandwich? If I said it was, could we just leave it at that? Would that be the end of it? No. Okay, what are you trying... Did Miss Venus's statement just now bring something to mind, perhaps? Are we gonna amend another formal testimony? Philosophical thoughts, deep philosophical thoughts. Let's say there was a great liar, and that great liar said without batting an eye, telling barefaced lies is a kind of my thing. I'm ever so good at it. Would those words of hers be a lie too, or the truth, in which case she's not a liar? Ooh, it's a hellish paradox, that one, don't you think? You're telling... I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. But it seems to me you're suggesting Miss Venus has been lying, are you? Really? Huh. So one of the witnesses believe she's lying. Interesting. What are you on about, old man? Trying to cause trouble, are you? Keep on like that. And I'll wrap your whole body in firecrackers instead of if they'll give you something to trouble. We don't want a murder scene, please, but... Anyway. You have a startlingly disturbing mind behind that sweet and innocent face, young lady. Yawn, dear. So, Miss Venus has lied in her testimony. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Sandwich? Yes. Well, if it means I'll be burning in hellfire for the rest of my days, then so be it. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Can you elaborate, please, sir? Well, what is she lying about? Oh, Blabbermouth here is headed for the room where the gunshots seem to come from. Ah, that's what the lie meant. So you actually did went to the room. But there was someone else who crept up the stairs behind him, too. That's right. That rotten liar over there. So we can conclude that you were also witnessing the crime scene. Do you mean to say that you did in fact betake yourself to the scene of the crime after all? What did I tell you, eh? Boom. I said I was good at telling barefaced lies, didn't I? Oh, this is a sneaky girl, isn't she? Yes, you mentioned it. Well, that revelation rocked the whole courtroom, didn't it? Who knew firecrackers packed such a punch? So you did indeed visit the scene of the crime, did you, young lady? Good grief! Well, now you come to mention it. I suppose, perhaps, I do clearly remember climbing the stairs to the room, yeah? Either you clearly remember it or you don't. Well, I shall consider your fitting punishment for this perjurous act later. Oh no, we are acting like perjury actually matters right now. But then again, for the time being, you will immediately amend your testimony to reflect the truth. Oh yes, my lord, of course. Maybe I did sneak along behind gossip and have a little peek into the room where it all happened. Is that all you did? Or did you pop a firecracker or something like that? You make a habit of lying, do you, Miss Venus? Well, I suppose so. I don't really know, to be fair. If you want my advice, though, I take everything I say with a big pinch of salt. Alright? Well, you did in fact go to the room where the victim was killed on the day in question, didn't you? Oh, please, as if I would. I can't think of anything more terrifying. The truth, please. Well, alright, just a bit then. I mean, a girl my age is curious about stuff and, you know. Did you touch anything at the scene? Oh, please, as if I would. I mean, there was a dead body on the floor. The truth, please. Cosmo knows. Don't lie in front of me, miss.
Well, alright, just a bit then. I had to look to see if there was anything I could sell. So I did keep the place once over, but there was nothing to write home about.
Right, now I hesitate to ask, but you didn't move the notice board by any chance, did you?
Oh please, as if I would touch anything like that. Just a few bits of loose change is all I had.
The truth, please! Is that Cosmo's had enough of this shit. Give me the truth, please, miss.
Well, alright then, I thought that there might be something worth having underneath it, so I blasted the flipping thing. Sorry, flip the blasted thing.
Huh? So you mess with the crime scene? So you're telling us you did move that board? Eh?
I think that did slip out, didn't it?
What? You daft bun fu- I don't believe it. The girl doesn't think.
So, did you find anything then? Something that you might have taken, perhaps, to sell? Oh, please. I should be so lucky in my match.
The truth, now. How many times are you gonna lie to me? I'm the prosecutor, goddammit.
I might have found this old pocket watch under the notice board site.
That is a huge clue.
Why is there a pocket watch? Bit of old junk. Like this can't be worth much if you
Gina?
So what it was it? You're the one what took it. Is that Gina's watch?
Gina? Young lady, might I remind you where you are?
That watch there, that was a present to Inspector Gregson from the yard for a big case to solve 10 years ago.
Oh.
The professor case, no doubt. Ah. The boss used to wind it up every evening without fail when he was waiting for the grub to come at the pub.
I see.
I swiped it off once me blind me was he upset. He gave me the rightful ear. And he hadn't missed a day in the last 10 years polishing it and winding it. And meant the world to him, that watch did. Possibly not the best thing to go diving for then. It's not all that though. I took it to Jabez that night to ask how much it was worth, but the old dealer wouldn't touch it. He wouldn't give me a penny for it, said it wasn't working, knocked about, and worthlessly called it. I knew I should have lifted it.
Well, we got ourselves a thief. That watch must be submitted as evidence as once.
Oh please, just so long as you promise to give it back when we're done. Not a chance. I'll swipe it from you if you try to get your grubby mitts on it again.
That's enough. Hand the watch over to the bailiff forthwith. Now, children, watch your manners.
Even though, like, we're all kind of children here.
Good lord. That glass appears to be broken. More than likely, it shattered when the inspector was shot.
It doesn't tick anymore either. Which is why Jabez didn't want it. What a waste, eh?
Yes, indeed. It appears to have stopped at the hour of 5.
Wait a second. If he was shot, he must have dropped the pocket watch when he died, eh? And then the sign itself. She mentioned it was under the sign. That meant that... What does this mean? That the pocket watch just rolled over and then the board dropped and it was placed there with timing? Exactly when the gunshot was heard then. Which supports the prosecution's claim, of course. Gregson's pocket watch has been entered to the court record.
Well, it would appear that the mystery of the moving notice board has been solved at least. Even though we're going back to cross-examination. Okay, let's just check the pocket watch.
The glass over the face really is badly cracked. Look, what a shame when the inspector clearly looked after it so carefully. I imagine Mr. Shobes could repair it, don't you? Yes, I should think so. He's very adept at things like this, a useful man to have around, in fact. But kindly remember that he's a great detective, Mr. Naruhodo, not an odd job man. What's that? What's this? There's a tiny little stub sticking up from the small hole. Here, look. I suppose there have been a little knob or something that's setting the time. In that case, seeing as we know the inspector took such good care of his watch, it probably broke when the incident occurred, didn't it? Yes, of course. Which could mean that there's a small part of the watch still at the scene. Maybe. I think we have to check the crime scene again. What's this? Ah, there's a tiny keyhole here. Can you see it? Oh yes, that's probably for the winder used to wind up the mechanism. It looks a little unusual, don't you think? Yes, you need to just right key to wind it, I imagine. Why do I feel as though I've seen something? Something a key that's about the right size to fit in this hole. It would be wonderful if we had the key. Let's check carefully what we already found. Where's the key? We have a key? Wait, the police figurine. Police figurine! This time it could be not that. Mr. Sato, do you think perhaps this key could be the key for Inspector Gregson's watch? Yeah. I had a feeling why he carried that around. Oh, yes, it could be. Let's try it at once, not a moment to lose. Let's go. I knew it. A perfect fit. And look, the inspector's watch has started going again. Ah, so it obviously just not been wound up, that's all. Wait. What is it, Mr. Sato? Well, if the watch isn't actually broken after all... Wait. Was it purposely on 5 o'clock? I have a feeling it could have profound implications. She's deep in thought now. Perhaps I better stop thinking deeply too. Oh my god. Do you guys think that he probably set it up at 5 o'clock and it wasn't broken after all? Oh my god. Something definitely is wrong. Or was it like a trap?
As is predicted, it had very little bearing on the case. Now then, continue with your cross-examination, please, counsel. I don't know anything about anything. I'm just a bystander.
Yes, we get it. You're a bystander. But you did go see what had happened in the room, didn't you?
Fresno Street is my whole world. That's all I know. I know all of it. I make it my business to know if I want to hold my sign up high.
So you did go to see what had happened?
It's not the destination that's important. It's how you get there, isn't it?
Oh, don't give me this cult BS on me. Did you notice the notice board in the room?
If you think about it, we're both the same species, aren't we? Both different members of the sign family. If I spotted it, I might have tried to trip it out. A sense of rivalry, I admit.
Someone really needs to tell you that you're Homo sapiens, not Homo
Science.
Fucking game.
Does that mean you didn't notice the board? I can only repeat what I said before. I don't know anything about anything. I'm just a bystander, me, just a sign at the crossroads of life. In which case, is who was responsible for moving the notice board?
It was that Reaper, I bet. I mean, that face that screams bored. What exactly do you mean by that? Oh, come on now. Don't tell us you not notice. He looks like he hates everything in the world, that fella. But not notice boards. They're the one thing he likes. You can see it in his eyes. But I can't say I ever noticed. I'll tell you one thing for free, though. I never took my eyes off that man on the floor, or off the Reaper. Not for a second. Sorry? What do you mean? Well, I was that scared I couldn't. You never know what a fiend like that might do if you look away, do you? If you didn't take your eyes off the defendant, you should be able to confirm categorically whether or not he was the one who moved the notice board. Yeah. Aye, that I can. The Reaper did nothing of the sort. I can swear to that. I couldn't have missed it. If he had heaved the thing up right again, I had dragged it into the corridor. Right. Glad we cleared that up. What happened to the face that screams bored? I feel your pain, Kazuma. Yeah. I can't see how this changes anyway. The detective still died when we heard the gunshot. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon that you all heard the loud bang, wasn't it? Maybe the notice board fell over, or maybe it didn't. Maybe I fell over and maybe I didn't. But the Reaper's fate is sealed in either way, because of that gunshot we all heard. So your fate's sealed too. My fate? That's right. The defense is fated to lose, and the prosecution to win. In other words, it all hinges on that single gunshot. So if I could just find some problem with that part of their story, it may be possible to change all of our fates. Of course, none of that changes the fact that I heard what I heard, does it? Here we go. So, not much to go on. As you pointed out, Mr. Naruhodo, there's no question that the notice board was moved and somebody must have done it, but it did happen after the event, so maybe Kazuma is right, and it's not relevant to the case. But it seems to have been deliberately positioned as to hide the body from view, so I feel sure that there's some deeper significance to all of this. Yes, I know what you mean. I have no doubt there are more clues to be uncovered. You're on the right track, I can feel it. So follow your instincts. Alright then? You could be lying with your formal testimony. You probably use a Venus firecracker? No. The witness's last statement is clearly contradictory when you consider this piece of evidence here. Yes, undeniably. You say it's undeniable, counsel, but I fail to see any contradiction here. I think perhaps it's the contradiction. Indeed! Fuck you, game! Oh my god. Time for a rethink. Maybe it's not this statement. Yeah, I have a feeling it's not this statement. Yeah, I think this phrase, I think this itself, the detective still died when he heard the gun. That is true, he still died when he heard the gunshot, but I have a feeling that's not the case. I think we have to update something now. Because this was part of the gunshot, but it still works. So, maybe the pocket watch. Okay, we got it. I'm afraid that's not necessarily the case. Oh. At the scene, we found this key to the winder of the inspector's pocket watch. A key? Did you not check your evidence, Kazuma? And having wound the pocket watch, we discovered that in fact, it still works. You see, the watch didn't stop because it was broken at all. And that fact completely undermines one of the most fundamental premises in which the entire case has been built. Nani? Ora, but counsel. The watch was stopped at almost exactly 5 o'clock, or maybe it was intended to be purpose at 5 o'clock Yeah, which is when we heard the gunshot. It is exactly the hour. The time that was showing on the watch tells us nothing other than when it wound down. It is merely a coincidence that happened to be at 5 o'clock. It could be earlier. This was a trap.
Even if that's true, the 3 witnesses here all heard the gunshot at 5 o'clock. That's obviously when this crime was committed.
No, that doesn't hold.
Why not?
Recall what Inspector Lestrade said only moments ago. The boss used to line it up every evening without fail when he was waiting for his grub to come at the pub. Said he hadn't missed a day in the last 10 years polishing and winding it. I meant that the world to him that watched did. The victim was in the habit of winding his watch once a day in the evening. We can reasonably assume, therefore, that he wound the timepiece on the evening before he died as well. Wait, do you think the body was placed there? That he didn't exactly die at 5, but he was obviously dead at around a different time? Maybe?
Yes, that would be entirely reasonable.
But if that's the case, if you wouldn't expect the watch to completely round down by 5 seconds, 5 o'clock the following day, well, how do you explain it then? In summary, the evening before the day of the incident, when the gunshot rang out in that room, the inspector was already unable to wind his watch.
You can't mean...
What would stop a man winding his watch if he's been in the habit of watching it every single evening for 10 years? The obvious answer is that he was already dead. Now this changes the entire case itself. So he wasn't dead at 5 o'clock because he was already dead in the first place.
Hold up, Counsel, this is the most extraordinary claim.
It now changes the autopsy report that he's dead, not dead at 5, but at, at a different time.
Extraordinary isn't the word, it's absurd. You claim he was already dead the night before? Do you really think that Scotland Yard's coroner would overlook something like that?
Wait, hey Kazuma, I don't know if you already noticed, but Scotland Yard has been very bad these past few cases. You wouldn't be surprised how useless Scotland Yard is, actually. Which is hilarious. Yes? Would Scotland Yard really overlook something like this? Yes, because they're incompetent as ever. On that subject, there's something rather surprising. There's actually an omission on the coroner's report. The time of death is not noted. Yeah, I agree. Like, what? Wouldn't you put the time of death in the fucking autopsy report? That is the first thing you would definitely do. But it wasn't noted. That's right. Wait a minute, you're forgetting my legs went from under me when I kicked the door in. What do you mean? Like I said, I planted my hand on a dirty puddle of blood.
Yes, so the victim's blood hadn't dried, it was fresh. He catches on fast, doesn't he?
But that blood could be explained in any number of ways. It could have been put there afterwards. Some fresh blood could have been poured over the victim after objection.
Does my learned friend think that fresh blood is available on every street corner?
Well, it needn't necessarily have been human blood, of course. No way. We've been previously told that Scotland Yard has no way to identify blood as human.
The problem is currently being researched. As present, you are correct, is beyond our abilities.
So then, a chicken's blood could have been used, for example. It is certainly a possibility that wasn't the Inspector's blood at all.
But the gunshot was heard at 5 o'clock that afternoon. It's beyond question.
Is it though?
Nani?
Given that the time of death of the victim has already been called into question, it isn't beyond the realms of possibility that that's what these witnesses heard wasn't a gunshot at all, Firecracker. Oh, please, what are you trying to say?
Do you lot know what we've heard? It was a loud bang that came from that there room. Now you listen to me. A street seller's ears are his livelihood.
I don't doubt your ears, sir, but all you can say with certainty is that you heard a noise.
Eh? Explain yourself then, Counsel.
A noise that sounds like a gunshot could have been made with the Firecracker. Something like this. The culprit could have set off one of these to fake a gunshot.
Good gracious, the very fireworks that are sold by the witness?
Now hold on a minute. Are you saying I did it? No, we're not saying that. That pretty little firecrackers only make a little pop anyway, see? Actually, someone was able to exploit it. And we found out what? Not 100 of them together. The Venus special that you sell for 600 pennies sounds like this. Bang! As the court can now attest, it sounds very much like a gunshot, in fact.
You're trying to suggest that somebody set off one of those fireworks off at the scene?
Yeah, because it was a trap to think it was a gunshot. I'm suggesting that somebody knew the defendant was in the room at 5 that day and sought to implicate him by creating a sound like a gunshot for these peddlers on Fresno Street to hear.
But even the accused himself has testified that he saw no one else in the room at the time. Whether it was a gunshot or a firecracker, the only person present was to cause that bang was Barack Von Zeeks.
One whiff of a match, and my firecrackers go pop. See? That's why people like him.
I fear for your fingers, young lady.
Objection! Recently, during my time here in Britain, I've learned of a very useful invention indeed. Something called a time bomb.
Good heavens, a bomb!
Anti-gravity machine, I'm just kidding. Anyway, yes, a device that allows you to blow up whatever you like, whenever you like. Mr. Naruhodo, I worry that your unfortunate phrasing there may lead to yet another international incident. No, wait. It's a whenever you like part that's important.
A time device.
Yes, exactly. A time device. Something that nature could have been planted at the scene. The device was able to produce the sound of a gunshot long after the culprit had left.
Alright, your extravagant claim will have to be substantiated with evidence, Counsel. What proof do you have to suggest that anything at a time device was employed to create the gunshot sound?
It's a pocket watch, isn't it?
You're suggesting this could have been used as some sort of time delay device.
I did think so, my lord. But it's becoming increasingly clear that we all been misguided here.
Objection. Yes, by you.
Huh? Nani?
No, Counsel, the time has come for a penalty without delay. Oh, come on! Oh, you baited me, game.
No time to clear the area before the blast. So it's definitely not the thing. I know this was used, but wait. Could have been that timing itself? Where one of the candles blown off was the timing? You know what, I'll try that. As the court has already discussed, the tip of one of the candles in this candelabrum has been blown off. Yeah, I bet that was one of the signals.
Indeed, because it was struck by the bullet which presumably passed through the victim.
I don't think that's possible, my lord.
Not possible, why?
Because of the scorching. There are gunpowder scorch marks clearly visible on the broken candle.
There are, goodness, yes. But is it not the case? That there was also scorching on the victim around the bullet entry wound?
That's right, there was. As we heard earlier, scorching like that only occurs when the target is at very close range. It matters of centimeters from the gun. Which means, does the scorching on the candle can't possibly be the result of a gunshot?
You're suggesting it came from the fireworks.
How could that be, eh? The fact that there's such visible scorching on the candle suggests that the fireworks must have been right next to it when they exploded. Or to put it another way, the candle and firecrackers were joined together. The culprit somehow attached the firecrackers at a point partway down the candle. And after Kira left, I see, so that's what triggered it. The candle slowly burnt down along with the other two, until it eventually ignited the fuse of the firecrackers, generating a loud bang. What timing? Wow. And that is how these three witnesses came to believe they heard a gunshot at 5 o'clock.
Well, what a plot. And this implies that the victim could have died earlier if we've been led to believe the previous day, even.
Now just hold your horses. So, if we think about this, if Gregson was already dead, that was just a signal when Von Zeeks went into the room, and boom, we got him. Damn. All of us lot here saw the victim going into the building, remember?
I couldn't have forget that flame-colored hair, even if I wanted to.
Maybe it was someone else. The person you saw entering the building wasn't the victim at all. Consider this. Obviously, anyone could wear a wig. So the person that these witnesses saw entering the building 15 minutes before the incident occurred could have easily been someone else entirely wearing a red-haired piece.
Someone else, you mean to say?
It was the same person who contrived the firecracker trick. In other words, Inspector Gregson's killer.
Oh, very impressive, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Kazuma?
I'm really quite amazed you come this far. But after all, wasn't I the one who told you that you had all the makings of a great defense lawyer? I also noted that the lack of time and effort in this report a stark omission. But as far as I'm concerned, this whole country's justice system leaves a lot to be desired. Ora, Prosecutor Soji, what on earth do you mean by that statement? I hear that many of the leading members of the Britain's judiciary are present to observe this trial today, so we cannot allow even the slightest doubt to be overlooked. The defense's assertion about the time of death based on the victim's stopwatch is just conjecture, but while the possibility exists and my learned friend may be correct, we have a duty to explore it. Well, certainly, I would agree with you. And what immediately comes to mind is, of course, what was Inspector Gregson doing and where did he go on the day before the incident?
Do you know?
The inspector always carried out his investigative work alone. His movements were treated as confidential within the Scotland Yard. Even within the yard. However, considering the evidence we've been presented with so far, I'd like to say it's fairly apparent what case the man was pursuing, wouldn't you, my learned friend?
I do have a feeling about what case he might have been investigating. Professor case. Yes, I agree, surely. My lord, the defense believes it can be explained to the court that the case was being investigated by Inspector Gregson at the time of his death.
Very well, Count. Present your argument to the court. What evidence is suggestive of the case being investigated by the inspector on the day prior to the incident?
I'm trying to think right now. What case would he? Or is it not? Wait, what? No way. Are we gonna call this into question? No way. Is this finally being relevant right? Oh, I guess the red hair. I guess that makes sense. I believe this red hair piece points to the answer. We might assume that it was part of a disguise used to carry out an undercover investigation.
Surely not. Such a bravely colored hairpiece would only serve to make the inspector more noticeable.
Yes, that's quite true. It would definitely have made him stand out in a crowd. Except, that is, in a crowd of gentlemen from the Red-Headed League.
The Red-Headed League? So, you already worked it out. What on earth is this about? Is there such an extraordinary league of gentlemen? The Red-Headed League is currently under investigation for a grand deception. A deception of what nature, Council? They've been targeting red-headed men all across London and tricking out the most small sums of money. 2 men were arrested for the misdemeanor of only yesterday, in fact. My lord, the defense calls for those 2 men to be summoned at once. 2 redheads. The redheads. Inspector Gregson clearly infiltrated the Red-Headed League using this hairpiece, so it's very likely he had direct contact with these criminals. And it's quite possible that such contact led to more serious events. I concur that we cannot in good conscience leave this new avenue unexplored.
Well done, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, it's another possible line of inquiry for us at least.
The prosecution will make amends. Media arrangements for the charged men to appear. Bring these 2 red-headed league conspirators from before me, Prosecutor Silgi.
At once, my lord.
Very good. We will have a 30-minute recess. Court is adjourned.
Oh man. Interesting. Very interesting. But yeah, that looks, even though it's like 40-something minutes, yeah, I believe that's all we can do for today. But so next time on the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, we're going to be continuing towards the next part of the trial, hopefully. And yeah, and hopefully we can finish it. See you guys all next time.